Okay, Sandy, and of course, Randy, I'm sorry. Got paperwork in front of me for Sandy, and I apologize. So, Randy and Susan, here we are at the front door of this place here on Wise Ave. A very elegant entry into the foyer. This is a high grade home. I've seen homes of this design before, and believe me, it didn't have the quality that this home presents. I think because it was built in 2016, which puts it into the newer category as far as the villages is concerned. There you were looking at the living area, and of course now we're panning across to the dining area. Dining area ran about 15 by 12, the living area about 15 by 14. Panning across then to the kitchen, which has the open concept with the counters there being low set. We'll go around behind that to give you a view of looking out from behind those counters. Now looking down the foyer towards the doorway where I came in. You'll notice the quality of these cabinets, which we'll take a look at a little bit later in detail, much higher than these homes normally have. Center aisle in the middle there with my stuff on top, for which I apologize. We're going to pan to the left here and take a look now at the idea of standing in the kitchen looking outwards, and you can see, of course, the dining area, the lanai, and then, of course, the open area of the living. So now looking here, we are going to look at the first refrigerator. I got a little silly, opened the door. Just was curious to see what we look like. It obviously is very clean. Of course, a few beer cans on the upper shelf, which I didn't expect, but that's all right. This is a high-grade Whirlpool set of appliances. There, of course, is the dishwasher. And there we are looking at the cooking area, which has an oven to itself. It then has a microwave up above, and then a flat top for where you have the heating. And then looking here at the dinette area, I guess it would be, or dining area for that, separate from the dining room. And it is on the front of the house. It runs about 15 feet across and about 6.5 feet depth. Here, we're looking across the hallway, and we're going to go across and shut the front door, of course, into then this area, which would be your guest area, I would think. And to the left, first of all, is a standalone bedroom. And first, we're going to open this, as of course, as your laundry closet or whatever. And here, then, is this bedroom, standalone, like I say, has its own fan, window looking now out to the street there, not the front, but to the side. And of course, you're on the corner, so it's Wise and Wise, as you'll see in a little while. Street's name, Wise and Wise. Now, here at the carpeting is in excellent shape, as I mentioned to Susan yesterday on the phone. And just panning around to show you everything. We're going to go back through the hallway, take a left turn here to look at the bathroom for a second. This bathroom really just services anybody visiting and or that bedroom by itself. And it has a tub, and it has an enclosed tiling all the way through, tile on the floor, and then it back into then the in-law suite, as they refer to it. This will be the sitting area. Of course, Susan brought up the idea about putting in bunk beds, which it certainly can accommodate. Nothing in here other than outlets and the window, designer window. Now going through the doorway into the what's called the bedroom area, what I would call it. Again, this ceiling suddenly dropped here to be an 8 or 9 foot ceiling. And to the left is a large walk-in closet. Readily available to anybody sitting in the sitting room if they wished, and or being in the bedroom, of course. And again, here's another bath, serviceable just for this area, which of course really makes that into the in-law suite, as they refer to it. And this here has a shower of the size of a tub area, basically. I'm going to open that door because of the reflections on the windows, so you can see inside the depth of it and the way it's been tiled top to bottom, in good quality tile, and a seat there for whatever. Love the color that they chose to use on all the walls. They're very bright compared to what we saw when we were looking at some of the dull colors. See how bright these walls are. It goes very well with the carpeting. And once again, into the sitting room with a designer window of its own, not unlike the one that was in the dinette. And here, walking into the small hallway again, that accommodates this entire area, has its own pocket door, as most of the doors have, if they don't have real doors. And going back to the foyer, now we're going to walk around, take a left turn for a moment. I know you're anxious to get out to the lanai, but bear with me. And here then we are going to take a right turn to go into the master bedroom area, which has its own little entryway if you wish. Just panning around to show you what's there, and you can see all the thermostats for the air conditioning and everything. And then walking into here to the master, very good size, around 18 by 12 or 14 I believe it was. Don't have the figures in front of me, I apologize. And the tray ceiling here. And then we're going to take a left turn and go into the master bath area. I'm looking over there at the front, the door we just came through, just to give you an idea by panning around. And we're going to go there, and on the left will be the walk-in closet, and a right is a walk-in closet, his and hers if you wish. Good size in both cases. And now we're going to proceed forward into the master bath area. As you can see, there's two separate sinks, one in the front and one to the left. Good size in both cases. Yours truly is in the mirror because there was nowhere else for me to hide. Here we're looking at more cabinetry of the same vintage that was in the kitchen, both for that area as well as this one. Plenty of cabinet space. There we have the commode with its own pocket door. And then, of course, here we're going to take and walk into the Roman bath, as they call it. Trying to pan around to give you a sense of the perspective of this area. And just go inside here for a moment to show you the setup with the shower and its seat in the corner. Going to take and go back through the hallway to the master bedroom. And back through the doorway. And now we're back out to the kitchen area, and we're going to take a right here and go now into the garage. And here we have the laundry room and another set of cabinetry of the same vintage once again. You'll see here that when I open the lower cabinet, the upper cabinets are pretty much standard, but the lower cabinet has 4 levels of pull-out drawers. Washer dryer stand high because beneath each one is its own drawers, which is nice because you don't have to bend over far to access the insides. Out there is a standalone sink in the garage. I'm going to pan the garage a little bit, and to my pleasant surprise, I found this workbench area. Looks like it's brand new. I have to assume they're going to leave that. It has keys on every lock, so it's almost like, well, like I say, it's brand new, I think. I will double check that with the realtor. Excuse my finger being over the lens sometimes. This is not a professional here. This is just me trying to show you what we have here. Here, of course, is the normal in these garages where they have the air conditioning and the water tank and so forth, as we saw in the other homes when you were here. I'm sorry that you didn't see this when you were here. I understand from Susan that this was on her list, but she didn't have it written down. But that's okay. That's why we're here, to help you out and see this. This is the next best thing to being here, I guess. And once again, panning the area, you can see the window at the other end. Each garage has its own opener on the wall, and of course, obviously, a hand openers as well. Beautiful day. Sorry the weather wasn't that way when you were here. And here are the 3 units for opening and closing the doors. And now going back into that hallway that leads to the master bedroom, just to show you close up those units for the heat and for the air conditioning and so forth, and dehumidifier. Here, we're now going into the lanai. Those doors on left and right I just went through open all the way to the wall. That wall on the right there, you can see where the holders are for the sliding glass doors. This is the end where I said I did the measurements for the hot tub, which I gave to you. And that little, on the right side there, you'll see where it juts out a little bit, and that comes out, and I allowed for that in my measurements as well. It's still adequate size from the measurements you sent to me for a hot tub in that area. But I do not see hookups other than just normal outlets in that area. I just don't think they even thought about it probably. Here I am going to recess these doors all the way back so they give you a better idea of the open expanse. It's really beautiful. And this is the other end of the lanai. It runs 32 feet long. And now going outside that doorway into the backyard. I'm going to pan the whole section there. The landscaping is totally immaculate, the way they have it kept. And I don't think they did that just for this. I think it's just been that way all along. You'll see too that they have video surveillance, and that's what that camera was up there that you just saw. We'll get into that in a minute. The fencing was of excellent quality. It is being shared by your neighbor, who has fencing going around their house as well. You'll see that when we drive outside. Going to walk around now to the left of the house, if you wish, as looking at it from the back. A little bit of a windy day. And here I'm going to pan in a little bit just so you can see that gate that comes in from the front, which probably is for the landscapers when they come to mow the lawn or whoever else comes. But would not be used for company necessarily, because you wouldn't want them traipsing across your front lawn. And just panning along here to give you an indication of the fence, the quality thereof, as well. And its quality is the word to be used for this place in my book. Of much better quality than I normally see for a lot of these type of homes. There you are with the video surveillance that they have, 24 hours, monitored by security cameras. Where it ties into is what I don't know. That's another question on my list for the realtor, because I don't see any internal camera, any kind of displays or monitors, I should say. I'm not sure if this is hooked into those or not. There's a few of those around. But up above on the eaves up there, you'll see, the gutters, if you wish. You'll see the cameras. Here I'm just looking at the fencing once again in the landscape there. This side is pretty much barren. It has the unit there for the air conditioning. There's your camera, one of them. And then there's another one in the middle, another one at the other end. Again, I have no clue where these tie into. Okay, now back inside, panning once again from the living area, and I wanted to show you how it looks with those doors wide open, as wide as they can be. They have about a 3-inch, I would say about 3-inch hangover when they're wide open. And it really does give a beautiful expanse. It doesn't really show well here on the video. So now I'm going to jump to the kitchen for a moment and just open some of these cabinets and drawers, and so you can get a better idea what they're about. And the bottom cabinets all have pull-out drawers. And these are the drawers underneath the hot top. And there you see the bottom drawer that you pull out. And once again, the oven set up. Not You don't usually see those on a separate basis. The oven is usually underneath the hot top, so this is really nice setup. One doesn't have to bend over much in this home, which I think is really great. And the bottom once again slides out. There you have the disposals if you wish. Not really disposals, but where you maintain the garbage and recyclables or whatever. Another cabinet with a bottom pull out. Just showing you the above cabinetry, which is pretty standard. Once again, panning around, just take a last look here. Okay, we're outside in the corner where wise is over wise, as you can see. I always said it's much wiser being a smart tail. Anyway, there you see, again, great landscaping with the palm trees, and there's lighting on these palm trees for night, which should be elegant, I would think. And doesn't take much as far as your electricity bill goes, just for your own information. Panning across the street and down the street, behind those homes across the street is a pond, and beyond that then the golf course, quite a distance from it. They're not really on top of the golf course at all. And there's pros and cons about being on near a pond like that for those homes. Sometimes a hard sell because people do not worry about alligators, or they worry about open fan animals, whatever. We're looking back at the front of the home here. You're well protected, incidentally, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Looking here at the garage and the buggy garage, and once again panning the neighborhood a little bit. People had their garbage out because this was garbage day on Mondays. I guess they probably have Monday and Thursday pickups. We have Tuesday and Friday, so it varies according to the village. This, of course, is the village of Pine Hills. And we're looking down the street once again. This is Wise Avenue going into Moyers Loop. Now I'm in the car, and I went around behind, and this is your neighbor on the other side, on the front side of their home, and they see how the fencing is shared. There's a stone post at each end and one in the middle, which is where the divider line is, with the fencing going behind your house. So I just wanted to give you a perspective of that. And once again, take a look at the house as we drive out of that area from that corner. It was a very, very quiet corner. I think one car passed through there at most when I was there for the 40 minutes I was there. So nothing like what we saw with the other homes with their corners being busy. We're now driving straight down Wise. On the left there, we're just passing a road there, McDonald's Road it's called, and then the next one is we have a cul-de-sac on the left. And then from there into Moyer Loop, which there is where we start to pick up the traffic. And we're going to take a right. Now, Moyers Loop goes all the way around in a one big loop, as it is. And if you look at the map, you'll see that. And we'll take a right here, and we're going to go now and show you on the right-hand side, behind the homes that were across the street from you, that pond. Now, it's not a really well-developed pond, per se. By that, I mean there's a lot of roughage in there. And there then is a golf course. This is Belle Glade. And this is the internal side of it. I say that because there's a gateway coming in and out of this area. And then once you're on the other side of the gate is where the Belle Glade Country Club is, right on the other side. Here we're passing a dog walking park on the left. So that's quite a ways from your place by foot, for sure. And I drove in there just to see what the story is, and it's a nice walking area there as well. And here we are traveling along. I had to pick up speed. I had people behind me, not too kind to me because I was going slowly, taking pictures. So that gives you a good idea of the whole area, and we'll take it from there.